In order to break Miss Hall's alibi, I'll need to talk to everyone involved in the IS-7 incident. That means Delicia! Alrighty. Delicia, would you be willing to aid in the investigation? Yes, of course. Anything for Miley and Kay Fay. They're fucking nicknames. I'll listen to whatever you have to say. I was wondering if you could stop calling me Miley. And stop calling me Kay Fay. Fee, that's out of the question. I can't just change a name I've already decided on. Even if we ask her, she won't listen to what we have to say at all. That's Delicia. Alright, the decorations. Do you know anything about the decorations that are used in this museum? No, I don't think it is her. She's been suspected twice. She's just, I don't know, very klutzy, I think. She is the only person that got access to Megatoxin X, so that's still, a point, but I don't think it's her. Specifically the fluorescent cloth and a special device called a rainbow light device. Yes, of course I do. Because they are presents that I gave to Katie. As an apology for breaking the rules 18 years ago. I gave her 4 new rock salt lamps and the 4 fluorescent cloths I used in the contest. Oh no, to be fair, even if it's a joke, that could actually be the case in most things. It could be her. I don't think it is. But that's the thing, when it comes to finding out the killer, it's sometimes really hard to actually figure out who it actually is. Oh, that sounds nice. Fluorescent cloths and a rock salt lamps. Seems like only us girls can understand how wonderful they are. That's a cruel thing to say, Miss Delicious. I like them too, you know. Fee, that was back when Rara was still a cute little boy. Back when Mr. Shields was a cute little boy? I can't even imagine it. Are they the same decorations you saw 18 years ago? Probably. The rock salt lamp, the cloth and the rainbow light device. They all seem the same. Fluorescent cloths were used in the Autumn Palace. But I have the feeling I saw one more of the same cloth. It's true. Look, I've got the proof right here in my bag. Oh, that's where the other one was. What is she searching for? Not this. Not this either. Oh yeah, I forgot that actually did pop up. I remember seeing cloth like that recently. Let's show Delicia and have her confirm my suspicions. Right, okay. I mean, I'll speak about this first. I'd like to ask you something since you're a pharmacist. Exactly how would one gain the knowledge required to set off poison gas? Oh, that's basic knowledge for any pharmacist acquainted with Megatoxin X. It even says on the warning label, danger, do not mix with normalium. Then, is there another way for someone who isn't a pharmacist to obtain that information? Well... it might be possible if they've seen the Angel's recipe. The recipe book that was the grand prize of the contest 18 years ago. Since it also contains the recipe to prepare Megatoxin X. Oh! Contained in the book, the Angel's recipe also contains the method to prepare the poison gas. Ah. Does this mean that you've also seen the contents of the Angel's recipe? Yes, that's a given, of course. The pharmaceutical company I work for is the Master Group. It's the company that makes the Cold Killer X medicine. Cold Killer X. The cold medicine that promises to kill colds good. After Jeffrey got declared guilty, the company took back the recipe book. However, only a small group of elite pharmacists have been allowed to see it, though. So this woman is also a part of that small group of elite pharmacists. Okay, so now if I present the fluorescent cloth... Wasn't there a dirty rag in your bag that looked similar to this? Fee, I'm not going to give any information to someone who calls it a dirty rag. Then, would it be better if I called it a washcloth? Fee, wrong again. It's a fluorescent cloth. Ah, oopsie. That was supposed to be a secret. Please, tell me all you know about this fluorescent cloth. Ah, you silly goose. Alright. Please, tell me the reason why you hid this cloth. I guess I have no choice, since the cat's out of the bag. I found this cloth floating in the fountain, and right after that, I was called to the Autumn Palace. So that's the moment Larry captured art in his so-called sketch of beauties. At first I thought one of the fluorescent cloths I'd given Katie had washed away. But didn't you only give 4 fluorescent cloths as a present to this museum? There were 4 fluorescent cloths covering the sculptures, in the Autumn Palace, right? So that's when I realised that this was the cloth that went missing 18 years ago. Jesus! So many things go missing and just turn up 18 years later. The poison gas broke out because someone had stolen my Megatoxin X. So I thought the fluorescent cloth had also been used for the crime. I was afraid I'd be suspected, so I didn't say anything about it to anyone. I see. But I sure feel a lot better after talking about it. Stress isn't good for your figure after all. 18 years ago, the cloth that was wrapped around the body went missing. Who would have thought it would turn up in the fountain along with the body? Given to Kate by Delicia, the cloth that vanished 18 years ago was found floating in the fountain. Wow. So, what logic do I currently have? Contained in the book. Right, I only have that. So, who else could I speak with? Well, there's someone else that's involved in the IS-7. Oh, how can I forget? Ray! Miles, how's the investigation going? Well, little by little I'm beginning to see the entire truth behind the case. Oh, that's good to hear. Uncle Ray had better not fall behind either. Oh, nice, we get to hear his song. Oh, that's great. I love his theme. Right, anyway, about the 2 cases. This case seems to have a lot in common with the case 18 years ago. I agree, the melted ice in the Winter Palace and the body of the victim from 18 years ago. I wonder why nobody ever noticed the body was missing after all this time. The only family Mr. Dover had was a young son. His son, and Mr. Gustavia's son, who attended the same elementary school. After the case, they both went missing. What? And they haven't been found yet? I haven't heard any news about Mr. Gustavia's son being found. As for Mr. Dover's son, he was found and his inheritance was delivered to him. And because of that, Mr. Dover never had a proper funeral. That way they were able to make it look like the body had been in police custody. The autopsy report had also been forged, so nobody but the defense ever found out. Von Karma, you would go that far. Okay, what about Keth? They're in Hall. Mr. Shields, could you tell me what kind of person Miss Hall is? Miles, don't tell me. You're also interested in Katie? No. Well, all joking aside, all Uncle Ray can say is, the Kate I know is a truly admirable woman. For 18 years she has always wanted to remain here, and wait for Master's return. However, she was driven out of the mansion by Master's relatives. What? She was driven out of the mansion? That's because Kate isn't related by blood to Mr. Master. With no family and her job taken from her, she could only live on with the song and dance that Mr. Master had taught her. Well, now she's retired as a world-famous actress, though. Why did she retire? Because she had already saved up enough money to buy this mansion. It seems she even got back the Angel's recipe that had been taken by the Master Group. What Kate did, Kate got back the mansion and the Angel recipe for Mr. Master's sake. This mansion, where she lived with Mr. Master, had been everything to her. She probably just wanted to take back everything that she lost. Ba 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 ba. It seems that Mrs. Shields sympathises with Miss Hall. But you could also say that her actions have taken away everything Mr. Master had. Right, well I think I'm done with that. Oh man, I don't get to hear his song. I like that song too. I mean, if that was not obvious, given the fact I've said that like 17 times. Boom! So now this is basically, we're putting it together that she would have had knowledge of how to put together the poison gas. The method used to set off the poison gas is explained in the Angel's recipe. And the current owner of the Angel's recipe is Miss Hall. Ah, so that means... Indeed, it means that it is possible that she knew how to set off the poison gas. With this, we can expose her lies for what they are. Bum bum bum. What is this? This lift trolley has just been left here. Wonder if it was used recently to carry something heavy. Like our body. The surface of the platform appears to be wet. I remember seeing this lift trolley. Someplace before. You mean during the IS-7 incident? Ah, that's right. I remember now. It was in Dover's room. Oh yeah. I never noticed that when we got to see that previously. If I remember correctly, it was used to transport the ice sculptures. The lift trolley has a feature that allows you to adjust the height and angle of the platform. With just one of these, a single person could move the sculptures all by themselves. Lift trolley. 18 years ago, Dover used this to carry his ice sculptures. The surface of the platform is wet. Wow, how convenient. I want one too. Why is there a lift trolley here? I guess that's something we'll need to think about. Yes. It could be related to the gas. Oh. Investigation complete. Now all that's left is to wait for the results of the teapot. Woohoo! Oh, right, to be continued. Well, that was unexpected. Ba. Yeah, of course I want to save. Are you kidding? You must be kidding. Alright. Oh god, I'm just gonna have songs stuck in my head. What is Alicia doing? She's just got the ball stuck to her face. Oh. I have a report. We have detected traces of normalium from the teapot. You can't be serious. It's just like Mr. Edgeworth said. Darn it, did Mr. Edgeworth take the title of the best from me again? Mr. the Best, it seems like you have an obsession about being the best. But when you're on a case, winning and losing is of no importance. What are you saying? Obviously, it's best to be the best at everything. If you can't understand that, then you have no business being a prosecutor. What? Overruled! Please stop harassing Sebastian. Sebastian, a person of your caliber has no need to listen to such things. Why is she, like, enabling him? I don't get it. Justine, yeah, you're right. I am better than him. Please, leave this to me. Why don't you go check on the victim's condition? Yeah, that's a great idea. I'll be right back then. There we go. Whoop. Alright, I'll be waiting. Judge Courtney is much more troublesome than Mr. the Best. Considering the fact she constantly enables him, it's like someone of your caliber has no need to listen to this shit. I just don't understand why she enables him. Makes no sense. Unless the Best is essentially just her puppet. And that's what she treats him like. Well then. She gonna slam it down? Oh yeah. Miss Curator, can you tell us why normalium was discovered in the teapot? I was not aware that it contained such a chemical. I suppose it may have been an ingredient from the detergent I had used. So you're saying that you did not put it in deliberately? No, of course not. There is no way for me to have known how to create the poison gas. Yeah, that's a lie. Despite being a former actress, it seems you're not very good at lying. What do you mean? The Angel's recipe is in your possession, and the method to create the poison gas is contained inside that recipe book. So you must have known how to create it. Oh! I'm surprised you knew about that. Miss Curator, is this true? It's true that information about the poison gas is contained in one of the recipes. However, just because I saw it does not mean that I was responsible for the crime. Could you tell me what set off the poison gas? It was caused by the victim heating the lid of the glass with a burner. Or gas case with a burner. I see. If he locked himself in that room of his own will and then set off the poison gas, wouldn't that suggest suicide? Oh, you're going on the same track as fucking Sebastian, and it got him Sebest. Does she intend to deny it until the bitter end? Furthermore, I wouldn't have been able to obtain a chemical like Megatoxin X. That may be true, but you could have stolen it from someone else. That reminds me, I met up with Katie a week ago and... that night was when I realised that my Megatoxin X was gone. Katie, you couldn't have. Madame Delicia always carried her medicine bag around with her. Anyone could have stolen it. That's right. I don't have any proof that she was the one who stole it. Kate, can't you tell us what you're hiding? I know you're not the kind of person who would hurt someone without a reason. Monsieur Shields, you doubt me as well? Setting a trap on one of the gallery's exhibits, and then disguising the rooms. I just think it would have been impossible for anyone but the curator. That's not true. There are no guards or security cameras at this gallery. If any ill-intentioned person wanted to sneak into the gallery, it would have been an easy task for them. But then, isn't it like an all-you-can-steal buffet in here? You have to be careful. You never know when a great thief could appear. Doesn't sound like a joke when Kay says it. Actually, Monsieur Gustavia apparently entered the gallery before it opened. Well, I'm beat. Looks like Uncle Ray can't do anything to break down Kate's iron guard. This might be a good time to use a technique your old man taught me. The technique? My father taught you? This case is deeply connected to the one from 18 years ago. If we just pursue the present case, it may seem like there is a lot we don't understand. But if we try turning things around, there might be a hint in the case from the past. Thinking the other way around. Did my father do that too? For example, just consider the relationship between the past case and Kate. Miss Hall melted Mr. Dover's sherbet sculptures 18 years ago. And today, Mr. Dover's works are on display in this gallery. It can't be. She... I see. Now I know what to ask her. That's good to hear. In that case, Uncle Ray will just watch over you as you do your work. Miss Catherine Hall. 18 years ago, it seems that you melted Mr. Dover's sherbet sculptures. Yes, I was young and inexperienced, and I did something inexcusable. However, isn't that why you were able to open the Zodiac Art Gallery? I don't know what you mean. I don't understand either. Prosecutor Edgeworth, do you seek her testimony? Yes. I would like her to tell me about the Zodiac Art Gallery. I would like to know the reason you decided to open a gallery for Mr. Dover's artwork. If you insist that this is related to the case at hand, I will allow it. Miss Curator, your testimony, if you please. Very well. If that will clear your suspicions about me. Now then, please testify about the Zodiac Art Gallery. Oh! The Zodiac Art Gallery. 18 years after Monsieur Master was arrested, I was finally able to buy back this mansion. Then, in order to maintain it, I decided to manage it as an art gallery. I collected Pierre Hoquet's works from all over the world. After all, it was my dream to open the Zodiac Art Gallery. Huh. It's wonderful that your dream has come true. What do you think, Prosecutor Edgeworth? I don't believe there was anything strange about her testimony. Judge Courtney, I believe in the courtroom it is standard to cross-examine the witness. Wouldn't you agree it's a little too early to say that there are no contradictions? You speak like a defense attorney. Very well. Proceed, as you please. Alright. Right, so... Right, yeah, press. I was very confused as to what I'm doing. It must have taken a lot of hard work these past 18 years to buy back the mansion. The place full of my memories with Monsieur Master... It's the only place for me. Oh god. No matter what, at any cost, I wanted it back. She looks like she's having fun. I love that he claps like a goddamn seal. Well, she is a former actress. Singing and dancing is her livelihood. Enough with the singing. Please continue your testimony. Then, in order to maintain it, I decided to manage it as an art gallery. I almost just... didn't press. Are you managing this gallery by yourself? Yes. Well, I say manage, but it only opened today. And I must continue protecting this mansion, so that Mr. Master has a place to return to. So, she took back the mansion for Mr. Master's sake. Kate, I'm so sorry. I was powerless. It's not your fault, Monsieur Shields. I couldn't do anything either. All I can do now is continue to protect the mansion. I collected Pierre Hakari's works from all over the world. Oh. Again, I nearly forgot to fucking press. Pierre Hakari. I never know how you say his name. That's Mr. Dover's alias, correct? Yes. It's the name he used when he worked as a sculptor in France. About collecting his works. How did you prepare the Taurus and Gemini sculptures? I heard that Mr. Dover passed away before he completed those two sculptures. Did she get help? Had the sculptures in the Winter Palace specially made, based on the photos I took? Oh! Could you please tell us about that in more detail? Okay, after all it was... okay. Collected Pierce... Sure. Opening the Zodiac Art Gallery was your dream. The truth is, I wanted to manage the gallery together with Monsieur Master. Oh Christ. Singing and dancing and all kinds of sweets. That's the kind of gallery I dreamed about. Was she planning on staging a musical in here? Jeffrey Master disobeyed the Goddess of Law. It is unfortunate, but I'm afraid that your dream will never come to pass. No, Monsieur Master is... innocent. The prosecutor at the time did not believe it, but... in order to protect Catherine Hall, Jeffrey Master gave a false confession. They were both trying to protect each other. I prepared replicas of the sculptures in the Winter Palace based on the photos I took. Do I have anything I can use? Did I even read this? Melted. Traces of salt, sugar and blood. That's all I can think to do. I still don't understand. Oh, hang on. Wait a minute. Sugar, salt, and blood. The blood doesn't really matter, it's the fact there's salt in it. Was that... wait, were they actually Dover's sculptures? Like, Dover's sculptures didn't actually melt? That's all I could think. Because his contained salt around the lyre. Whereas, it also had sugar as well. Did you really think that your excuses would continue to hold up? No matter how much you lie, you can't deny the composition of the sculptures. From the analysis results, it's quite clear that the sculptures in the Winter Palace are the sherbet sculptures Mr. Dover created. Why, Miley, as a pharmacist, it's my turn to shine. What we call sugar actually comes in many different varieties and tests. Even if the sculptures were replicas, it's nearly impossible to replicate the composition. I see. Thank you for the explanation. Though I don't recall asking for one. Ah. That, Miss Hall, means you couldn't have melted the sherbet sculptures back then. You stole them, and preserved them for 18 years. Ah. What? She preserved the sherbet for 18 whole years? If you freeze it properly, it's not impossible. Silence, please. Miss Curator, what do you have to say? I can't believe you've already uncovered so much. So you're admitting that you stole the sherbet sculptures? No, I cannot admit to such a thing. There isn't any proof that I stole them after all. Also, I couldn't have stolen the sculptures 18 years ago. I don't think they would have been easy to steal without the police noticing. Is that so? I don't know what you did 18 years ago. As such, how can I judge how difficult it would have been to steal them? It looks like you won't give up so easily. I don't intend on giving up until I learn the truth. I understand. And I shall tell you what I did 18 years ago. So what I did 18 years ago. On the day of the incident, I was waiting in the main building until the judging. During the judging, at Monsieur Master's request, I went to change the film in the camera. But before I could deliver the camera to him, I discovered Monsieur Dover's body. After Monsieur Gregory arrived, I prepared tea for everyone involved in the investigation. It was then that I witnessed Monsieur Gustavia entering Mr. Dover's room. And that was everything I had done on that day. I don't think there is anything suspicious about my actions. That's not your decision to make. Mr. Edgeworth, were there any contradictions in her testimony? For now, I should just prove that she stole the sculptures. But when could Miss Hall have stolen them? If I can answer that, her crime should come to light. Preparing tea, maybe? I'm trying to think, because all the other ones, it seems she was actually active in doing a duty. Whereas the tea, she could, you know, had the tea and then took it away somewhere. On the day of the incident, I was waiting in the main... Yeah. I keep reading them instead of just pressing. What were you doing before the judging began? I was in my room on the second floor, practicing my dancing. Oh yeah. I was performing on the TV show Piece of Cake back then. Piece of Cake? What kind of show was that? It was a children's program. The hosts made sweets while singing and dancing. Ooh, that sounds like fun. Well, that's unexpected. You knew about the show, Miles? But my father told me about it once, so I just happened to watch it a few times. So Miss Hall was practicing her dancing in her room. Could Miss Hall have stolen the sculptures then? It couldn't have been then. Oh right, so at the end of each statement I'm gonna be like, yeah, it's this time. It couldn't have been then. I should listen to more of her testimony. Okay. So you were the only one who could move freely during the judging period. I certainly would have had more freedom to move about than the contestants. However... I couldn't possibly have stolen the sculptures right in front of Monsieur Master. Moreover, upon being asked to change the film, I went directly to the entryway. At Mr. Master's request, she went to change the film and the camera. No. It couldn't have been then. I should listen to more of her testimony. Right, yeah. So, you entered Mr. Master's room before you delivered the camera? Yes, I heard the sound of something breaking, you see. Monsieur Master, are you in here? That was actually the sound of the ship breaking. Someone snuck a bite of it, you see. When the body was discovered, was Mr. Master still judging Mr. Gustavia's room? I'm sure that he was. Monsieur Master is the type of person who would carefully judge one room at a time. She found Miss Adowa's body inside Mr. Master's room. No. Couldn't have been there.